Hello YouTube, my name's General Advance. This is Dota 2 and this is my introduction to Batrider. Batrider is an intelligence hero. It's generally used as a solo mid. He's very strong there. He's also often played in a aggressive tri-lane as the farming hero there, or a offlaner as he's very survivable because he has very good strength gain for his type of hero. His skills are Sticky Napalm, which is basically a very spammable, slow, as well as buff to your own damage based on Firefly, which is one of your other skills, and your right click damage. So it's very useful to spam off early game. It's very debilitating to the other player as it's also got a turn rate slow. Its duration is pretty long and its cooldown is very low, and you can get multiple stacks up to 15, which makes your extra damage, as you can see, will be 150 extra damage for each right click, and given that your base damage is fairly low at the start, it's pretty good. Playing solo mid this game, so I start off with that over Firefly as I don't really need an escape from level 1. Second skill is Flamethrower, which is basically a nuke and a small stun duration. It's pretty good. It's also a big knockback, and that's what it's mostly used for, so I'm going to get it slightly later than the other things. The GPM is going really wild there. I guess it takes into account your illusion. Third skill, Firefly, so damage over time. Basically, it leaves a big trail of fire behind me. Anyone who stands in that will take damage over time, as well as extra damage from any Sticky Napalm stacks against them. Playing solo mid, playing against them, just get rid of that. That's annoying. Playing solo mid against the TA, who has gone for kind of an odd build. It's obviously like a phase boots rush build. It's based on getting as much last hit power as possible. She's going to start off with Psyblades to try and harass me, as well as just try and get easy last hits, but I'm going to make life as hard for her as possible, and you can already see she's got 3 stacks of Sticky Napalm on her. This is a movement speed, slow by around, let me just check. It's a 9% movement speed, so it's pretty good. 70% turn speed. It's always pretty good. And TA is one of the strongest solo mid heroes in the game, and as you can see, I'm already outlaning her. I'm not sure, her GPM is actually higher. My last hits aren't so great, but I don't care. All I have to do in this lane is to just sort of shut her down, because she needs more expensive items than me, really. All I need is kind of boots and a blink dagger. She needs phase boots, blink dagger, and some other stuff. First blood has already happened at bot, which I'm not really going to talk about the rest of the players of the other game, but this Chaos Knight that is completely glitched out, and every time I check the replay it's always glitched out, as well as a couple of friends, CL Ollie and CL Punishment are up top. I mean CL as well, but I just don't run the tags very often. But yeah, so level 3 already kind of outlaning her, definitely got more experience, forced her to go back a little bit, and as soon as I see her dropping low, even though she's got her thing on, immediately go for a kill. Batrider is very good at getting level 2, level 3, level 4 kills in mid lane, even against very strong mid solos. It was a mistake of hers to stay so low, and it's why she should have brought tangos instead of a salve, in my opinion. My build's pretty much just a straight bottle rush. I've already got my bottle on the courier, I think at this point. I was like asking Ollie if he could get a crow, or a flying, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to miss out on a little bit of XP here, just to get this haste rune. Haste rune's extremely good. I've already out-leveled the TA anyway by getting a kill, so I'm not too bothered. I've got like a full level advantage on her. She gets a little bit of free XP, it's no big deal. As well as that, we already got first blood on bot as well, so, you know, money going that way. Looks like Ollie's rushing a magic wand. I guess that's mostly to deal with the fact that it's a Phantom Lancer, and Phantom Lancer is spammed on Spirit Lances. Wow, that is a complete waste. You've got like Juxtapose level 2, you should get Phantom Lance like always. It's really spell. But yeah, I'm going to be maxing out Sticky Napalm as well as Firefly. You could argue for maxing out Flame Break instead, because the nuke damage is higher, but your actual, like, doing a full combo of all your skills, the damage is higher, I believe, if you have Firefly maxed instead of Flame Break. Your last skill, your ultimate, probably the coolest thing about Batrider, is Flaming Lasso. It's a 3 to 4 seconds stun. It goes through BKB, and you can drag people behind you. It's literally a lasso. It is broken if you blink or TP or anything like that, but you can use it with like a force staff to pull somebody away. So you can blink in, is generally the best way to do it. Force staff, well, blink in. The combo basically consists of Firefly, blink in, grab somebody, force staff yourself out, and then stack sticky napalm on everybody. And anybody who tries to help them, you flame break them. So you push them away. Gives you that extra few seconds, gives you the time to even BKB carries like Sven or Spirit Breaker, just go straight through BKB. Nobody else can use their spells obviously on them unless they have other spells that go through BKB, or ways to stack something like that. But what you can do is just get a lot of right-click damage off, and it's a very, very good initiation. Batrider's probably most well known for his initiation, more than anything else. It's definitely what he does well. Lasso is an absolutely amazing spell. Firefly and Sticky Napalm allow you to get early kills. Flame Break's kind of a must spell. It's actually a lot more useful than it would look, but it's still pretty good. And as you can see, I've already started to really, really outlane her here. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna fly back around a little bit.
Is under attack.
Go and see if I can collect a rune. We're both guessing here, neither of us actually have wards up, because I think, yeah, we're running dual lanes, so generally in a dual lane you often don't get wards up very early, if you're against the dual lane, because it's just the increased possibility of getting killed. However, I'm going to go down and help Bart. I've got an Invis and a haste on. Flame Break and Firefly, Firefly, and then just drag the Spirit Breaker out. Ollie's going to throw Maledict down. Maledict's a damage over time spell there. Fiel is going to get out from that one though. We're going to get quite enough damage on him. He's got an escape, he's got like an Invis. But yeah, it's just a quick rotation. As soon as I saw the Invis rune, I had already used my haste and I was like, well, why wouldn't you go and gank with that, you know? It's very, very, very strong to do so. So Spirit Breaker's now going to be even further under leveled here. He's already in a terrible, terrible lane for him, but it's been out leveled by Ollie, who's like a support hero, so you know, it's pretty bad. TA's managed to catch up in some levels and not really in farm in the time that she's got here. She's still sitting on a salve. I honestly think salve mid is a complete waste of time. To use a salve you have to sit back over here somewhere, and it's just such a waste of your time. You often miss tons of XP through it. You can do useful things, you can get runes, you can do whatever. Immediately, 5 stacks up on the TA. I'm Sticky Napalm, I'm going to fly over her, do as much damage as I can. And you can see the salve does nothing for her. Nor would using say for her, because I'm mostly a damage over time hero, and it's pretty much a counter to TA. So if you're ever struggling with playing versus TA over and over again in matchmaking, this is mostly for newer players and stuff, so the whole guide is really... This is not really a guide, it's more of an introduction. It's just me sort of... I played the hero. It's a hero that I really, really like. It's kind of bad in certain situations. Don't play it versus Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain kicks its ass. Everything else though, Batrider is one of the best laners out there. Definitely. And his ganking ability early game is extremely large. Later in the game, you kind of just become Flaming Lasso. Your nuke damage is pretty poor. Your damage over time spell peaks off pretty badly. People get BKBs, so all of these end up doing not very much. I think Sticky Napalm actually goes through BKB. But your right-click damage will never be very good, because often, the thing with Batrider is he's an initiator, so what you need is survivability, because you do literally jump right into the middle of the enemy team. So, often you're picking up things like a Shiva's Guard and stuff, or maybe even a Vanguard. Vanguard's very, very good, pretty much core on him. I'm not sure where I'm going now. I think I'm going to go gank bot again. Oh yeah, Chaos Knight. I think Ollie died down bot. Chaos Knight's getting owned. Ollie's coming, but yeah, Ollie died down bot. Probably not his fault, looks like there's 3 people around. Should have probably SS'd the team or something, I think I might have. But I'm going to grab the PL, try to do as much damage as possible, so you can see him constantly stacking names. Can't auto-attack, ulti, by the way, that's one little thing. So I'm just getting over these cards. You can come flying here, actually. And then that was PL. I thought it was an illusion. It was the real one. And Ollie's Maledict gets the kill, so they dived too far there. They were behind a tier 2 tower trying to kill a Chaos Knight, who ended up... I don't know if he survived or not. Either way, it's not worth it to commit 3 heroes like that. And that's actually one thing I'd like to talk about, is that their hero pick are terrible. Like, carry, super hard support hero, semi-carry, carry. Like, that's not a good idea.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Sven's a carry. Yeah, he's like a really good semi-carry. and that's fine to have like a carry and a semi-carry, but then they have Spirit Breaker and PL
Dire's
together.
top tower
It's like,
is under attack.
what do you want to do? Like support Spirit Breaker? That doesn't work. Like Spirit Breaker is a bad hero as it is. Punishment's a little bit out of position here to pull out, but luckily Batrider is able to make a massive difference here. The biggest reason for that is, I think, yeah, he'd already popped his ultimate, so there's not much you can do in that situation. He'd already popped his ultimate to survive like a 3-man gank or something.
Yeah, baby.
But I can just make advantage of this by getting a haste rune and being really fast and stuff. So I've already got my blink dagger. It's a very, very fast blink dagger. It's because pretty much I've outlaned the TA, made 2 kills on her, and now got 3 other kills as well as a couple of assists. So I'm very, very far ahead here now. You can see compared to the levels of most other people in the GPM, like even the other solo mid GPM is nowhere near as high as me, and generally solo mids end up doing, early game solo mids are generally doing the best, unless you're playing very, very, very well as a carry hero, and then carry heroes will do the best. Or if the enemy supports are crap and your offlaner is doing like fantastic, but that should not happen. And it looks like, yeah, TA went for a gank on bot. There's nothing that can really be done about stuff like that. If TA comes to gank you, you go and get ganked. It's pretty much a big difference. And somebody has messaged me on Steam, but I'm going to ignore it because I'm doing this. So just trying to get my CS up at the moment. I could probably be ganking top. The thing is, it's Sven. He's actually got pretty good levels. He was a solo Sven top. They do have a Chen, and Chen's pretty much, I believe that means reconnect. I think we were a bit confused about this when it first happened, but I might have to skip a little bit. Just speed it up. He's got a pretty good build here though. Ring of Basilius is technically, I can't remember, I think Ring of Basilius is generally not a good thing this early on him. You're much better off just rushing mana boots or a mech, but getting a smoker to see is a huge, huge difference, and whether he actually uses it or not. They do have wards up though. Wards, again, a big difference, and that's another reason why I can't really gank top. The thing with Dota is that wards can completely shut down an area unless you have smoke. Because if you look at where this ward was placed, it can see here, so I can't go through this area. And the only other way I could go through is here. And even then, the ward would still see me, it would still mean to pass through here, so I'd have to go all the way around. I'll draw on the map, I'll have to go all the way around, like that, to gank somebody at this tower. Or, I'd have to go through here to gank somebody at this tower, or I could just TP to our tower and then go through. And my drawing is terrible in this game. My god. But screw it, it's fine. You can just ping. Look. Oh, the pings don't come up. Do they? No, pings don't come up when it's paused. Anyway, I'm gonna... oh no. He's reconnected, so it's gonna start again. So that ward there is very, very defensive. Very much protects the Sven. As long as he can get a few last hits in his lane, as long as he can sort of survive against this kind of terrible dual lane they have going here, as well as this Tide Hunter who went for a terrible... oh, I remember this game. Who are absolutely stupid items. I think later he gets like a pipe of insight and they have like no magic ulti. It's kind of a good ulti there, but you're not going to get anything from it. In a situation like that, when you're being chased down, you're absolutely guaranteed to die. Unless support is actually coming in to genuinely kill off whoever you're going to ulti as Tide Hunter, don't blow your ulti. Don't do it. Just keep it. If support's coming in, if you can see people on the map, just look at the map, because I mean, like, what else are you going to do? You're going to die at that point. There's nothing else you can particularly do. So don't worry about it too much. If you have to, just ulti. The punishment build here is really, really weird. I guess this is because, yeah, this is because he's long lane. This is the hard lane, and this is the easy lane. It's the opposite way around. So he's gone for a build that basically makes him as survivable as possible. Maxing out Drop Brawler, which is like a passive, gives you a crit chance and a dodge chance, which is really, really cool. And sadly I fuck up here, I believe. Yeah, I fucked up here. And we should have got this Sven, like, really quickly. But punishment managed to get him anyway. And there's another hero here. And again, we can't quite chase him down. I have my Blink Dagger now, but I'm completely out of mana, which is kind of a problem. I'm going to wait for the 12-minute rune, see if it spawns top. It does spawn top, so I'm a lucky man. So I'm just going to pick that up immediately, bottle it, and bottle through early on so that I get the invis as well as bottle charge. This just means I can actually do something now, as well as being invis. But then I end up drinking all of my bottles, so I break the invis, but hey, whatever. I needed the mana, and
Missing bottom.
It didn't matter what I was going to say. Looks like the Tide Hunter has rotated down to bot as well. He's still terrible. Why would you get a Quelling Blade or a Ring of Health? Neither of these things are useful on Tide Hunter. Just, you know, putting that out there.
Oh, look at it go!
Pretty much standard. Normally people get like 1 Voodoo Restoration early. Personally I would say 2, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's not an essential thing. Maledict is a lot better, it's just harder to use, and you don't need it. Sadly, he's a little bit out of position here. Gets stunned by the Sven, it's an automatic stun very much, and Spirit Breaker comes through too, so... Yeah, Sven's stun is completely undodgeable, I believe. So yeah. And it looks like we're going for a big push on the bot now, so what I'm going to have to do is, this is going to be a team fight. Looks like I'm getting a magic wand, and then next I'll go for my Vanguard probably. So I need to either get a rune and come down, or just come down as quickly as possible, but I'm going to be kind of too slow to initiate pretty early. Tide does have gravity, probably proper here. They can TP and do something, but the problem is I'm not really communicating with here. Ollie TP's in. He's going to throw Maledict and stun. It's not quite enough damage, however he's going to get ulti off. Ulti does huge amounts of damage. Almost takes out the TA all on its own. They're still following after the Chaos Knight, so I'm just going to basically kill this guy. See, I was a little bit slow on my skills there. I've not played this hero a huge amount, so sometimes I'm just a little bit off exactly what to do with the skills, and I was convinced that was an illusion when it happened, but I watched in the replay before, and it was the real guy. I should have nuked it or something, but ended up not. So it looks like the Chaos Knight is he's really slow on leveling and stuff. I believe later on he ends up really, really under-leveled, if I remember rightly. So the rest of us kind of have to pick up the slack for that. But currently I'm still definitely out-leveling everybody by quite a good amount. Everybody else is pretty much on level 8 in this game. Our team is a little bit behind, but that's okay because Batrider's sort of damage and influence early on in a game is absolutely huge, especially just as it picked up a Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger is absolutely amazing on Batrider. It just allows you to do so many things with your lasso. You don't have to rely on a sort of counter initiating. You can initiate yourself. You can solo kill people very, very quickly as well, because obviously people can't fight back if they're stunned for like 3.5 seconds it's currently at. So yeah, level 11 is pretty important on Batrider. Level 6 is pretty good, but 3 seconds isn't quite long enough to solo kill people generally, especially since you can't auto-attack. You have to just rely on your Firefly and your Sticky Napalm and possibly Flame Break even. So, and I mean your lasso does no damage, so it looks like kind of a bad skill, but it's really, really good. It's one of the best ones in the game. I go out of position a little bit here and I'm dead. Like, they have ganking presence. I was slowed by the thing. I'm just going to do what I can, which is basically nothing. Everybody's going to collapse in on this fight, and they take a huge amount of damage from the fact that it's very master team. And Tide Knight reduces everyone's damage. Ollie's going to come in from the bottom, and it's very, very good counter-initiating whilst everybody's stuck in place. Using his Death Ward, we can't quite get the damage off to kill anybody. And it's so hard to catch up to this team with only 2 people left alive. Look at the Chaos Knight coming in, but he doesn't do anything. This Chaos Knight is very, very slow this game. Obviously not a very high skill player. There's a lot of like,
It was a mercy
I don't know, the bracket we're in for skill is very, I don't know, it seems very wide sometimes. We get some very, very good players that we play with. We play very, very well ourselves quite a lot of the time, and then other times we play crap. I think it's just generally an unreliable skill bracket, I'd put it as. Like, we've definitely got some serious talent in certain players and stuff, but often they just fuck up. You know, it's very easy to fuck up, and it's very easy to sort of fuck up multiple. So PL going for diffuse is my favourite build on PL. A lot of people go Radiance, and it's kind of, it just doesn't have the effect in game early enough. It's much, much better for farming. You will out-carry anybody if you get it at a good timing, and you just carry on farming, but it just ends up doing so little early on that it's really not worth it. Let me sure the damage from it is good. This is kind of like a messy team fight. It's kind of a skirmish. worried about a Chen heal coming out maybe, but it was actually used in the last fight, I think, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Plus he doesn't have mech up yet. Don't think he goes for... I don't think he ever gets an Aghanims this game. I think I end up focusing down the Chen a bit later on. And this Chaos Knight looks very dead. Because they have really, really good ganking. Spirit Breaker is kind of a terrible hero in a lot of ways, but he's extremely, extremely good at ganking. Charge of Darkness is a global skill, so if one other person is there, you have Charge of Darkness, which is a stun, his ulti, which is a stun and a load of damage. He does quite a bit of damage himself. Anybody else there with a stun? It's like 3 stuns stacked up on each other. You're not going to survive that. Even if you stack them completely terribly and like overlap, then you're not going to survive that. So I picked up a ring of darkness, grab out the Chen, initiate on that fight, kind of sitting around waiting for a while. Extra everybody out, because it's forced everybody into the Tidehunter into this witch drop there. They can get their ultis off, because they don't have blink daggers or any sort of initiation skills or spells, unlike I do. I have blink dagger. And I kind of overestimate how strong I am at this moment, and then I have no idea how that went so far off that way.
Tower is under attack.
The fuck? I'm pretty sure in the game I just sort of threw it here. That might be a replay glitch, or I might have just been a retard and threw it the wrong way. But either way, I do manage to get out. I'm fairly tanky now. I've almost got my Vanguard out. I didn't buy a Stout Shield from the start. You only really need a Stout Shield from the start if you're on the off lane on Batrider, or in an aggressive tri lane. But aggressive tri lane is not really a noob sort of thing. It's pretty hard to do. I wouldn't advise it. In this Chaos Knight is going to die. He's out of position. He's far too far up, especially against the Spirit Breaker while we don't have wards. We just won a team fight. We can't hold this round yet. We don't have wards up. And yeah, the Spirit Breaker even... he does do a pretty good play there. He ultied, right? And his ulti basically splits him into illusions. He ultied to dodge the Spirit Breaker's ultimate, which is pretty cool. I mean, like, they both lose the ulti, and the cooldown on Phantasm is way, way higher than the one on Spirit Breakers, but, you know, if there'd been support there, we would have killed the people because of that. It would have made a difference. So we're just doing a little bit of speed pushing at the top end. Generally, I'd say, once you've got Blink Dagger, go for just for survivability. Get a Vanguard, get maybe a Shiva since they have some right clickers like this. Force Staff is good too. It just adds to your initiation, adds to that sort of punishment's going to initiate here. They've sort of initiated on us. And we're just going to try and chase people down, but I make a mistake here. I should have just jumped on the Chen. I should have just jumped on the Chen, ulted him, held him back, but it takes us so long to kill him. He ends up getting right behind the fight. We take far too long to kill him. We could have been down after that. And I go down to this punishment to get out as well. Although I think we probably would have died as well, but we would have got somebody else with the kill. So it was a pretty big mistake by me. I was following... I didn't know whether to jump on the Spirit Breaker. It was full health, which is kind of a bigger kill, or the Chen, who could do more to keep himself alive. I wasn't sure, you know, does the Chen have mecha? Does he have Hand of God up? Because if he did, then it's definitely always good to jump on him. If not, then it's kind of not worth it, but, you know, it's still a kill. So, mistake made there by me. Vanguard's going to be very, very late, and Vanguard's kind of poopy when it's very late like this, but it doesn't matter because I had my Blink Dagger up at 10 minutes, and I've made lots of kills happen. I'm 8, 2, and 7 in this game. So things are going very, very well. I mean, Batrider's a great hero. I'm playing him fairly well at this moment. I've made a few mistakes, but none of them are quite so bad as the Chaos Knights, who's as low level as our Tidehunter, which is like not good because Tidehunter is generally like an off-laner or support. I've actually seen him solo mid, but I don't know how I rate that. It's pretty good really, because one of the people that I've seen play solo mid is Endy, and you know, for anyone who follows the professional scene even slightly, he's one of the best players in the world. So kind of stun out there from Sven, trying to get both. I only managed to get the Chaos Knight. He tried to stun the creep, it's an AoE spell when it hits, so looks like this Chaos Knight is a dead man again. This Chaos Knight should just get some cheap, so useful items like drums or something. He's trying to get armlet at the moment. That would be very, very useful. Should get like armlet and drums. I believe he goes like Manta style though. Manta style, in my opinion, is not worth it. Although I do believe he gets full damage from the illusions. I don't know. It might only be the ones from his ultimate. I think it's only the ones from his ultimate. But yeah, they're trying to push our bot tower here, and we're just going to kind of give it up. All he's going to throw a stun. It's mostly just, you know, it's just a cursory one. It doesn't cost him very much money. So. And now he's caught out here. That's punishment. It's not so much of a big deal. He almost has an angle scepter.
Radiant's top tower
He has
is
his
under
face, but
attack.
he has Vanguard. He's gone for more of a carry sort of build rather than initiator. He's just trying to be as damaging as possible and as hard to kill as possible. He's extremely hard to kill at the moment. You can see he was really out of position. There are so many heroes collapsing on him right now. But we're sending people in because we think we
Dire's
can
courier
kill
has been
people
killed.
with just a
Radiant's
Brewmaster
top
and a
tower is
Batrider
under
versus an
attack.
entire team. I have my Vanguard up. We're both very, very survivable. Punishment's practically at full health. Well, no, he's not that close to full health. But he's, you know, he's got a damn good amount of health. I've got 1400 HP, that's pretty good at this point in the game. Let's see. Sven's on 1400. Chen's on like 800, yeah. It's pretty good. Pretty damn good. Spirit Breaker, yeah. Spirit Breaker's on a lot of health. Spirit Breaker has very, very, very high strength gain, I believe. Oh no, maybe, no, it's not so good. I thought it was higher than that. Oh well. It's because Spirit Breaker's items will like super heavy strength or attack speed. Unless you're an idiot and you go for Daedalus. It's one thing. Never go for Daedalus and Spirit Breaker. Get friggin' Mjolnir or an Assault Cuirass instead. It costs like it costs less, I think. Yeah, it costs less for Assault Cuirass. And the damage output you get from it is so much better because he has a proc. It's a proc. You don't need more damage. He already hits really hard. You need your proc. But yeah, it looks like they're going to push our mid tower now. So this is going to be a full 5-on-5 team fight, I think, if everybody turns up for it. The Spirit Breaker obviously can turn up any time he likes, although he can't right now. So they're going to retreat from this, because actually one of their heroes is back at base, which is the TA, who is going for a Desolator or a BKB, probably a Deso. If you get the Mithril Hammer first, you're going for a Deso, because Mithril Hammer is basically worse than Overclub. BKB would be very, very strong in this game. If you don't know, BKB is Black King Bar and it gives you magic immunity. And we have obviously a lot of magic damage. Tidehunter's ulti being the biggest one, although I think the stun still hits. One problem with BKB in this game is obviously Batrider does not give no fucks about BKB. So we're trying a bit of a jungle invasion here. It's kind of disjointed though, because obviously some of our players aren't, like, they're not people you often play with, they're not people we're talking to. We've mostly called the Tidehunter a fool this game as well, because his build is so stupid. Because they don't have any magic damage, they have like Sven stun, and PL's Lance, and that's it. That's all their magic damage for their entire team. No one cares about that much magic damage, you don't need a freaking pipe to deal with that. It's already got the Hood of Defiance though, which I mean, you know, you could have just got a Blink Dagger and had super initiations, but apparently not. I'm just trying to decide on target. I jumped into those 3 heroes. Couldn't decide who to get, went for the it's always the hardest carry. He's the one most likely to just carry this game through if it just carries on. Well, he's going to get a very good ulti there, pretty much needs the Spirit Breaker. Carrying on push from this. They go high ground, and I'm not sure we can take high ground, especially because we have to use Brewmaster ulti, my ulti, and Death Ward, and Ravage to take that. So we just take the tier 2, back off, farm, get yourself some map control. While he's building mech, he's been kind of shut down this game. He hasn't had much opportunity to do much. Witch Doctor's a pretty cool hero. He's got a very, very good stun, heal,
Look at it go!
kind of expensive for what it is. And Malazix, which is very, very hard to land, because it's pretty much point blank range. It's very, very good. It increases the damage taken. It does like it's a curse causing them to take damage in 4 seconds. It adds bonus damage for every 100 HP lost since it began. So if you do 100 damage, you do 140 damage, plus the 20 damage bonus over time, so it's a pretty big multiplier to damage. I mean, think if you do like 500 damage, you've got it's 40% of 500, quite a lot.
Radiant's bottom tower
it's around 200
is under
damage,
attack.
I think it's 200 damage. Don't know. Can't be bothered to maths it. Yeah, you don't need to be good at maths to play Dota, don't worry. Wow,
Radiant's
it's not
bottom
true.
tower
You need to be good
is
at
under
that and
attack.
maths to play Storm Spirit. Because that hero is hard. But it's fine. Again, bottling things up. Gone for plate mail here. This is kind of a casual plate mail. I think I'm going for Shiva's Guard, and then I'm going to get my Force Staff. I thought about getting Force Staff earlier, but honestly, in this sort of game, I'm not that bothered. Our initiation range is pretty long. Brewmaster is very, very fast with phase boots. Tidehunter will catch up eventually. It's also, did Tidehunter really got 370 base move speed with arcanes? That's really good. Tidehunter's really fast too. Oh my god, I have to try like an all-speed like Tidehunter build, like as a joke one day, because that's a terrible idea for a build, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, we have lots of like, we can push them off an area quite quickly, so the idea of getting a Force Staff to pull people out isn't going to really work. I may as well just blink in and walk people out. It's going to be just as effective, and this is me and Ollie trying to jungle, realising that our heroes suck at jungling. We have terrible, terrible base damage. Like, he tries to deal with a Black Dragon, Ancient Black Dragon, just cannot deal with it, so it's just heals. And then I'm going to try and deal with it, and it's going to do hardly anything as well, but now we've left one creep in the camp, and we can't bother to go wait like a minute to pull it, so we have to kill this freaking dragon. So we're going to sit here and kill this. It's just kind of a waste of time. Waste of time for us, especially against this sort of full carry lineup where it can become big, basically. Especially guys like PL, although he's kind of shut down. Spirit Breaker has almost got his BKB and his massive punishment, which makes him pretty strong. That's pretty much the point at which Spirit Breaker starts getting unkillable, I think. What is this? PL such.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So at the moment it's kind of just a sort of waiting game. It's just sort of waiting for everybody to get and farm up the next item they need. I would be looking for extra kills and stuff, but I'm not really going to use that to jungle. That will help me jungle a little bit faster. Ancients are worth killing off for the extra gold. All he's got is arcanes, he's got wards now as well. And he's got a little bit of extra survivability. Not sure what he was going with the
Radiant's
strength.
middle
I think he was
tower
going
is
to
under
make treads
attack.
and realise he kind of needed burst mana regen. Had to go for arcane boots instead. Got a haste rune now though, so I could probably gank somebody. Just looking for the opportunity to. We're kind of stagnating, and this is something we don't want to do. We are definitely ahead. We've got a lot more towers than they have. Oh, we don't have that much more towers. We have like, well no, we do have our mid-tier one. So yeah, we have a pretty good. We have a 2-tower lead, including the most important tower, in my opinion, which is the mid-tier.
Illusion.
But that's not true, probably. It's just generally pretty good to take it, and you will almost always get it first. Team fights often occur, especially at lower level. People just run for the mid-tier one. Spirit Breaker tried to charge the hero shot, which is very, very good. And then I'm going to blink initiate on him, and miss. He gets caught there, and I miss him completely. I'm going to effectively pull him back. He's so fast right now. He's got 510 move speed. He has a speed aura as well as Mask of Madness, which makes him very, very fast. Even with me speeding him up so yeah, it seems like Flame Break is glitched, because I know I knocked him back. Tried to do ravages as soon as these other 3 heroes come in. I've destroyed the Spirit Breaker by initiating on him. Maybe the rest of the team in that position to fight. And now that they've jumped the other heroes, all they can throw down Death does a huge amount of damage. Brewmaster ultimate makes him survive. I'm just trying to harass people, get them off this tower, do as much damage as I can. I would try and kill them, but at this point I do not have the damage to kill a PM or a TA. I'm kind of capping off slowly here. I am level 16, so yeah, this is pretty much the point where I've capped off completely. I am now basically a flying ultimate and just an initiation. My damage is but punishment is really damn dangerous, so it's all good.
Dire's bottom
However,
tower
they are still
is
getting
under
their
attack.
items up. It's just the difference is we're pretty far ahead. Drums up punishment as well. So he's pretty much got his he's going for a lance now. Yeah, lance. And then next
Dire's structures are fortified.
Probably the next item after that.
Dire's bottom
He's going
tower
to be
is under
very,
attack.
very survivable. He's going to be very, very hard to kill. This is
Dire's bottom
he's
tower
already very
has
tanky.
fallen.
He's got extra armor. extra health and damage
Dire's
block.
middle tower is under
Extra
attack.
stats, which is extra health, as well as damage and such. While he gets initiated from here, I'm going to throw out a flame break to see if we can do anything, but it looks like we can kind of...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm just going to try and disable this fend. It's probably the most damaging. I'll do what I can as far as him. Almost kill him off. I can just kill him off with the damage over time. Firefly. But that's pretty much the best I can do. You can see punishment. He was initiated by like 4 heroes. He's still on pretty much full health. And his ulti is up in like 30 odd seconds. So he's getting very, very strong now. Don't really have a way of detecting the PL, so we're not going to kill him. But Chen is
Dire's
dead.
top tower is under attack.
Dead.
My
Yeah,
mouth
dead.
falls.
Killed by the catapult. Siege Creep gets him in the end. Titan's jumping on that guy there. He has Blink Dagger finally, but it's not going to be any use. He's still going for his terrible, terrible Pipe of Insight. Pipe of Insight is great, guys, but when all their damage is physical,
Dire's
it's a complete
bottom
waste of
tower
time.
is under attack.
And they're like only support heroes. Not really magic based, although I mean Test of Faith does do a lot of damage. I believe it's magic damage. No, it's pure damage, so like that doesn't even help. It's really high pure damage. No, not enough for it. Chen's pretty good ganker. Surprise, surprise, Chen, good hero. Really hard to play. Don't know how to play. So we're going to try and get Roshan here. There's pretty much nothing they can do to contest this. Punishment's it's Titan, yeah, Ravage is up as well, so we've got massive AoE stuns, massive AoE damage, invincible hero with 2,200 health. We're not going to kill that. Punishment's going to pick up the Aegis here. It's definitely going to kill it. It's going to use magic wand here. You'll see it'll be, yeah, it's darkened out, so you can't use it. But when we use up the Aegis or it runs out of time, we'll at least be able to steal it. And the CK is too far behind to do anything of use. And he should buy his ultimate orb right now, since he's going for a Manta style, which is a terrible, terrible skill build. Not skill build, item build. Well, I mean, it's good. It's definitely increases your damage by a lot, but something like a Heart or a Satanic would be a lot better. I mean, obviously they're a little bit more expensive, they're a bit harder to get, but it's going to be a lot better. His movement speed is nice, but, you know, he could have got drums if he wanted a bit of extra movement speed. Movement speed is very nice. PL's down here, we're going to see if we can gank this guy. Everybody's moving in on it. Punishment moves in. Collapse them. The guy is walking away. He's slowed down pretty badly. What I'm gonna do is run into the area where the PL was going to. This is a real escape route. It's the real one. I can tell it's the real one because I did damage to him. And I'm just gonna run over it. Do what I can. It's gonna force him back to base pretty much. He doesn't have any sort of health regen. He is going for a hunter as well. It's like 3,000. So, I mean, you know, Spirit Breaker's getting pretty fat now. He's almost got his BKB. It's like 200 gold from it. But, the rest of us are, you know, Punishment's almost maxed out on items. He's got like his AC left. Ollie's very, very strong as a support hero. I think he's going Aghanim Scepter now. I think he changed his build to Aghanim Scepter. Which is pretty good. It's going to make the Death Ward pretty much the most strong ulti out there. It's really, really strong, really, really dangerous. You even see solo mid-witch doctors sometimes just rush Aghanims. It's kind of unusual, wouldn't advise it. Normally just play him as a support hero. Don't get Aghanims unless you know you're ahead. Unless you know you can build for it. And unless you know you need it. Again, just a bit of jungling. Things kind of go passive here. I have the recipe for Shiva's Guard. I think I bought the recipe for the Shiva's Guard and the plate mail, because they were the cheaper bits, and I was kind of scared that I might die a bit more here now. Because obviously, like I said, I peek off now, and I just become an initiating stun. I'm no longer a very damaging hero. I can't really deal damage to anybody on their team. Unless it's the Chen. I mean, like, I can solo chill the Chen, I could possibly solo kill the TA, but it's not very likely. She's got a Deso, I guess. Okay, he's going for a BKB. She should have got the Ogre Glove instead of the Mithril Hammer. It's much more cost effective. And it costs less as well, so it's like ultra good. This is, yeah. Punishment's good. It's the Brewmaster with the solo mid. It's going to initiate. Pipe goes off because it does anything. damage. Punishment's going to immediately just sort of beat everybody down. He's so survivable, even with Desolator hits on him. Reducing his health, doesn't really. Just runs in, hasn't used his ulti yet, he's not even gone down to half healthy. I jump out, disable the TA. TA is going to focus for a little bit. I'm going to fix this up my reaction for actually trying to back in. His Spirit Break attacks his turns on his BKB, which is fine. I'm going to try and slow him down. I get stack on him. Jumps in, and it's kind of questionable. I didn't think we should have done this really, because the fact is nobody else is following up on this, but he is going to do the Chen for it, so it ends up being kind of worth it. And next we can pretty much make a push off this. As soon as Ollie's cleared this bot wave, we can push, we can take mid, we can take Rax, and we can win the game. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's almost getting killed there, but no real danger actually happening. Especially because this Phantom Lancer still doesn't tap his heart, so he's just not survivable in the future. Although obviously there's no such thing as a fight with Phantom Lancer, because it makes multiples of himself that attacks you, which is what you deal with. So that's going to beat So I mean, yeah, he does do push, but pretty well for what it is. And there are much more cost effective items out there that you could have gone for. Yeah, I'm going to stun the Spirit Breaker here. I don't manage to get extra damage. It's just trying to stop him from attacking once these blockers and more damage. Punishment lets himself die here. He's used up his Aegis. He's going to respawn at full health, full mana, run back into the fight. Should have used a drop charge. Stuff like that though. It's a bit of but it's pretty useful. He's going to take out the Spirit Breaker and the Phantom Lancer. So take out the melee racks. They say GG, and that's pretty much the end of the game. So I think you can see here how kind of Batrider works as a solo mid. Very, very strong early on, especially at sort of like levels 2 to 4. You can pretty much kill any other hero on the map as long as you get them in a good position. Stack up Sticky Napalm, hit them with your Firefly, works very well. Later on, you rely on Root Command, obviously. You want to get survivability items, you want to get Blink Dagger, it's absolutely essential. You want to be initiating fights and doing as much damage as you can using Firefly as well. Flame Break's a very, very useful positioning item, it's very useful. Running away, it's very useful when you're chasing people. In a team fight, if everybody's ganging up on one hero, you need to keep them alive just an extra second longer. It's very useful then. But later on, it does peter off in the late game. His right click damage is pretty poor. Even with stacks of napalm up, he's not going to do a huge amount of damage. Firefly ends up being pretty much useless against anything other than support heroes. Flame Break again, same sort of thing, it's just a positioning thing. Flame Lasso though, it's a 4-second stun that goes through BKB, it goes through any sort of magic community. It's very, very good for initiating, you jump on people, and you can do this. Abduction! Use my force to fly out. Brought up machine gun. Yeah, boots, by the way, that's to get in. I suggest trying to boost earlier on. Gives you health regen. Gives you plus 3 armor, plus 3 HP regeneration, as well as an active HP regen for 170 heals, which is really, really good. Believe machine gets killed on there, because we're fountain diving. The game's over in just a second. These machines do support the end. So thank you for watching. Batrider just sank into the ground. Don't know if you can hear me over the victory music in Dota 2. Hopefully you can. But yeah, that's an introduction to Batrider. Very, very good solo mid. Very, very good initiator. Thanks for watching. GG. Goodbye.